I like old photos of my ex-girlfriend when no one is looking. She still doesn't know, and I feel guilty. I have a confession that sounds ridiculous, but it's been eating me alive for months. I still secretly like my ex-girlfriend's old photos on Instagram, late at night, when no one else is watching. It started so small that even I didn't realize it was becoming a habit. After our breakup, I told myself I was done, that I'd move on, block her, delete the memories, do the whole clean break thing. And for a while, I actually managed. I muted her, deleted our chats, even pretended not to notice when her name popped up in conversations. But every night, when the lights were off and I was scrolling through my phone, I felt this itch. Like some part of me needed to see her face again, even if it was just frozen in an old post. At first, I only looked. I would scroll down her feed, back to 2020, 2019, even earlier. Photos of her vacations, blurry selfies, her dog, her random food pics. It was harmless, or at least that's what I told myself. Nobody was getting hurt. But one night, my finger slipped. I accidentally double-tapped a photo of her at the beach, one she had posted almost 4 years ago. My heart nearly exploded. I sat there, sweating, panicking, thinking she was going to wake up, see the notification, and instantly know I was creeping. But nothing happened. She didn't mention it, didn't text, didn't post a story about stalkers. It was like I had gotten away with it. And that's when the danger really started, because the rush of that close call made it addictive. Suddenly, I wasn't just scrolling. I was deliberately liking. Slowly, carefully. I convinced myself it was safe if I only touched the old ones, the ones buried so deep that nobody else checked them anymore. Posts with 20 likes, pictures even she probably forgot she uploaded. I felt invisible, like a ghost wandering through her past life. But here's the thing nobody tells you. It doesn't feel good. It feels pathetic. Every time I hit that heart button, I get this weird cocktail of emotions. Shame, nostalgia, even this twisted kind of thrill. Like I'm breaking into a house I used to live in, opening drawers, leaving fingerprints on everything, while praying the new owner doesn't catch me. The worst part? Sometimes I even imagine her seeing it. Like maybe, just maybe she'd think, oh wow, he still cares. Maybe she'd miss me. Maybe she'd text. But she never does. Weeks go by, and it's silence. And so I keep repeating the cycle, deeper and deeper into the archive, liking pictures that practically belong to another lifetime. The most embarrassing moment was when I accidentally liked one of her photos while I was drunk. It wasn't even that old, maybe just from last year. Not ancient history. I sobered up instantly when I saw the red heart glowing. I unliked it so fast my finger cramped, but of course, Instagram already sent the notification. I spent the entire next day sweating bullets, wondering if she'd text me something like, hey, what's wrong with you? But once again, nothing came. Radio silence. Now it's a secret ritual. When the world's asleep, I open her page like a thief sneaking into a forbidden room. I scroll, I hover, I choose carefully. I like one or two, never too many, never too close to the present. Then I exit quickly, as if leaving a crime scene. And yet, she doesn't know. Or, at least, she pretends not to. Maybe she's noticed the occasional phantom, like popping up on a 2017 birthday picture. Maybe she laughs about it with her friends, saying, look, he's still not over me. Or maybe she doesn't care at all. And that last thought, that I might not even exist in her head anymore, hurts more than anything. So yeah, that's my confession. By day, I pretend to be fine, the cool ex who's moved on. But by night, I'm the shadow double-tapping photos from 5 years ago like some kind of digital ghost. Would you tell her if you were me? Or should I just keep living with this secret addiction? You'd think after months of sneaking around her Instagram like a digital burglar, I'd eventually stop, right? But no. If anything, the longer it went on, the worse it became. It's like when you eat one potato chip and suddenly you've finished the whole bag. You don't even notice until it's gone. That's me with her photos. Only instead of chips, it's memories. I started creating rules for myself. Sound insane, but hear me out. Rule number 1, never like more than one photo in a session. Rule number 2, only go back at least 3 years, never closer. Rule number 3, don't do it when I'm drunk, tired, or emotional because that's when mistakes happen. You think I was planning a heist? not scrolling through a social media feed. And yet, even with all these self-imposed rules, I still messed up. There was one night I couldn't sleep. I was lying in bed, tossing and turning, thinking about how she used to sleep with her hair covering half her face, how she would steal the blanket and then pretend not to notice. Stupid details, right? But I couldn't shake them. So I reached for my phone. Big mistake. I opened her page, and for some reason, I didn't go to the old posts. I scrolled only halfway down, maybe 2 years back, and there she was with her friends, smiling, holding a birthday cake. I don't know what came over me, but I tapped it. Not once, but twice. Like, unlike, like again. I froze. Did Instagram register it? Did she get 2 notifications? Was I caught red-handed? My heart was racing so fast I could hear it pounding in my ears. I threw my phone across the bed like it was on fire. The next morning, I couldn't even look at my notifications. I kept imagining her checking her phone, seeing my name pop up, and rolling her eyes. Or worse, screenshotting it and sending it to her friends. I pictured a group chat full of laughing emojis at my expense. Look who still can't move on. The thought made me want to crawl out of my skin. But again, nothing happened. No text, no confrontation, just silence, which was almost worse because I didn't know whether she hadn't noticed or she noticed and didn't care. And that's when the paranoia started. Every time I opened Instagram, I'd scan her profile picture. Had it changed? Did she block me? Did she make her account private? Was she testing me? It sounds ridiculous, but I swear I was analyzing her online activity like a detective in a crime drama. But then something happened that nearly exposed me. One evening, I was hanging out with a couple of friends. We were all sitting around, phones in hand, sharing memes and TikToks. One of them grabbed my phone to show me a video he'd saved, and without thinking, I left Instagram open. He scrolled up once, and boom, there it was. Her profile, right on the screen. "Bro," he said, raising an eyebrow. "Why are you stalking her?" My stomach dropped. I panicked so hard, I actually tried to laugh it off. "Oh, no, it's not like that. I don't even know how I ended up there. Must have been from the Explore page or something." He gave me this look. You know the kind, when someone knows you're full of crap, but they don't call you out directly. The worst part? The rest of the night, I couldn't even focus on the conversation. I kept wondering if he'd tell anyone, if he'd bring it up later, if my little secret ritual was about to become a running joke in the friend group. After that, I became even more careful. Now, it wasn't just about hiding it from her. It was about hiding it from everyone. I started clearing my search history obsessively, double-checking that her name didn't pop up in the recent searches bar. I even considered making a fake account just to look at her page, but I stopped myself. That would have been crossing some kind of invisible line I wasn't ready to admit existed. But here's the craziest part. As much as I hated myself for doing it, part of me felt alive. Like I was keeping a connection that didn't exist anymore, fueling this weird secret life that only I knew about. It was pathetic, but also comforting. The real kicker came a few weeks later. I was scrolling through her photos, carefully, cautiously, following all my rules, and I noticed something. She had liked one of my old posts. An old group photo of me and my buddies from 2 summers ago. My jaw actually dropped. I stared at the notification, refreshing the page a dozen times to make sure it wasn't some glitch. Why would she like that picture? Out of all my posts, why that one? Was it an accident? Was she doing what I was doing? Was she looking at my page, too? I wanted to believe it so badly. I wanted to think she was secretly scrolling through my feed at 2 a.m., just like I did with hers, and that maybe we weren't so different after all. That maybe there was still something there. But I couldn't be sure, and the not knowing was torture. So now, the game has changed. I'm not just some guilty ex creeping on her page. Now I'm convinced she might be creeping on mine too. And that thought, it both thrills me and terrifies me. Would you take it as a sign? Or am I just reading into things because I can't let go? After that moment, when she liked one of my old posts, I couldn't stop overthinking it. My brain became a factory of theories, churning out every possible explanation. Maybe it was an accident, just a random double tap while she was scrolling too fast. Maybe she was bored and went on a nostalgia trip the same way I did. Or maybe, and this was the thought that kept me awake, maybe she actually wanted me to notice. It felt like a signal, a breadcrumb dropped in the digital forest. And like a complete idiot, I followed it. I started checking her activity more often. Not just her old posts, but her new ones too. I'd analyze the captions, the emojis, the comments. I even checked who liked her posts, scanning for guys' names, for anything suspicious. It was toxic. I knew it was toxic. But the fact that she had interacted with my page made me feel like I had permission to keep going. Like I wasn't just a creep anymore. I was part of this secret, unspoken game. But here's where things took a turn. One night, I was doing my usual late-night scroll through her older photos. I had just liked a random picture from 2018, her posing in front of some mural, smiling like she owned the world. And then, out of pure curiosity, I refreshed the page. And that's when I saw it. She was online. The green dot next to her name was glowing like a warning light. My heart stopped. I froze, staring at the screen, afraid to breathe. Did she see me? Was she refreshing at the same time? Would she notice the new like and put two and two together? I panicked so badly, I closed the app and tossed my phone aside like it was radioactive. But then, like an idiot, I picked it up again. I couldn't resist. I reopened Instagram. She was still online. And this insane idea popped into my head. What if she was looking at my profile right now? What if she was waiting for me to post something to give her a sign? So I did the dumbest thing imaginable. I posted a story. Nothing obvious, nothing personal, just a random picture of my coffee mug with some half-baked caption like midnight thoughts. I told myself it was casual, meaningless, but deep down, I knew I was fishing. I wanted her to see it. And she did. Her name popped up in the viewers list within minutes. My chest tightened. She was online. She saw my story. Maybe it meant nothing. Maybe she was just tapping through stories absent-mindedly. But in my head, it felt like we were communicating in code. Like two spies exchanging signals in plain sight. The next day, I couldn't stop checking if she'd post something back. And she did. A mirror selfie with the caption, "Can't sleep, LOL." That had to be about me, right? It was too much a coincidence. I convinced myself she was replying without replying. So, naturally, I doubled down. I started timing my likes. Not too fast, not too frequent, just enough that she'd notice a pattern. I like a photo, then post a story an hour later. She'd view it. Sometimes she'd even like it. Each interaction felt like a breadcrumb leading me somewhere, even though I had no idea where. But here's the part that still makes my stomach twist. One night, I broke my own rules. It was late, maybe 3 a.m., and I was drunk after a party. My judgment was gone. I opened her page, and instead of carefully choosing some forgotten photo from years ago, I liked 3 recent ones in a row. Boom, boom, boom. Not even subtle. The second I realized what I'd done, I sobered up instantly. I tried to unlike them, but it was too late. Notifications had already been sent. I sat there staring at my phone, horrified, knowing I had just exposed myself. The next morning, my worst fear came true. I woke up to a message from her. Just 4 words. "Still stalking me, huh?" My blood went cold. I stared at the screen for what felt like an eternity. She knew. She knew. My secret little ritual, my late-night confessions to the void, they weren't secret anymore. I wanted to crawl under the covers and disappear. I typed and deleted a dozen replies. My first instinct was to deny it. Oh no, that was an accident. Or, I must have been drunk. But deep down, I knew no excuse would make me look any less pathetic. She had me. In the end, I just left her on read. I didn't reply. Cowardly, I know, but I couldn't face it. I spent the entire day in a fog, replaying that message over and over in my head. And here's the worst part. Even though I was caught, even though I should have been humiliated enough to stop forever, that night, I still opened her page. I still scrolled. I didn't like anything, but I looked, because I could not look. It's like an addiction. Even getting caught didn't cure me. So now, here I am, stuck in this purgatory. She knows I've been creeping, but she didn't block me. She didn't call me out publicly. She just left me dangling, like she's waiting to see what I'll do next. And I don't know whether that's worse than being ignored completely. If you were in my shoes, would you stop cold turkey? Or would you take her not blocking me as a sign to keep going? After she sent me that message, still stalking me, everything changed. The dynamic flipped completely. Before, I felt like a ghost, sneaking in the shadows of her Instagram, unnoticed and invisible. Now, suddenly, the ghost had been spotted. And worse, she didn't chase me away. She left the door open. That made everything so much more confusing. For a few days, I couldn't even bring myself to open her page. I was terrified she'd be waiting for me, like a cat staring at a mouse hole, ready to pounce the second I peeked out. But of course, temptation won. By day 4, I was back, nervous, shaky, scrolling through her profile again. Only this time, it felt like she was watching me back. And that's when things started getting strange. The first weird moment was when she posted a new picture. Nothing unusual, just her at a cafe, holding a latte. But the caption? Caffeine keeps me up at 3 a.m. eyes, the exact time I usually scroll through her profile. Coincidence? Maybe. But the eyes felt deliberate, like a wink aimed right at me. I stared at that caption for hours, trying to decide if I was losing my mind. Was she taunting me? Was she inviting me? I didn't know, but my stomach twisted with both excitement and dread. Then came the second strange moment. I had posted a random photo of my sneakers while waiting for the bus. Boring, nothing special. She liked it within minutes. Not hours, minutes. It was so fast that it almost felt like she had been waiting for me to post. My phone buzzed, I saw her name, and I swear my heart stopped. And that's when I realized this wasn't one-sided anymore. She was playing too. It turned into this unspoken game. I'd like one of her old pictures, and the next day, she'd like one of mine. I'd post a story, she'd view it instantly. She'd post something vague. I'd read into it like it was a secret message. Neither of us said a word, but both of us were fully aware of what was happening. The tension built up so much that it started to spill into my real life. I'd be sitting with friends, nodding at their jokes, but secretly waiting for that buzz in my pocket, hoping it was her. I'd wake up in the middle of the night just to check if she had posted anything. It was insane. I wasn't living my life anymore. I was living inside this silent, digital tug-of-war. And then came a night that almost broke me. I was out at a bar with some buddies. Nothing wild, just a few drinks and music. I was tipsy, scrolling through my phone when I saw her story pop up. It was a picture of the very same bar I was at. Same lighting, same interior, same neon sign. My blood ran cold. She was here. I looked around the room, scanning every face, my heart pounding like a drum. And then I saw her, across the room, sitting at a table with a friend, laughing. She looked the same but different. Older, maybe. More confident. And in that moment, every ounce of shame I'd been carrying crashed into me. All those nights of creeping, all the secret likes, the pathetic rituals, they all hit me like a truck because now she was real. She wasn't just a profile picture or a caption. She was right there. I tried to act normal, but my friends noticed me freeze. One of them followed my gaze and whispered, "Dude, isn't that her?" I wanted to disappear. My hand was shaking so badly, I nearly dropped my drink. And then, as if fate wanted to torment me, she looked up. Our eyes met across the bar. Just for a second, but it felt like forever. She smirked, just a tiny, knowing smirk, and then turned back to her friend like nothing happened. I couldn't breathe. That smirk told me everything. She knew. She knew I'd seen her story. She knew I'd panic when I realized she was here, and she wanted me to feel it. It was her move in this twisted little chess game we'd been playing online, only now the board was real life. I left early that night. I told my friends I wasn't feeling well, but the truth was I couldn't handle it. I walked home in the cold, replaying that smirk in my head over and over. Part of me felt humiliated. Part of me felt exhilarated. And part of me was terrified because I realized I wasn't the one in control anymore. She was. The days after that were torture. Every notification from Instagram felt like a trap. Every time she liked one of my posts, I didn't know if it was genuine or if she was just stringing me along for fun. And yet, I couldn't stop playing. I was addicted to the game, even though it was destroying me. The worst moment came when she posted a picture with a guy. Just a casual photo. Her and some dude smiling at a concert. My stomach dropped like I'd been punched. Was this her way of telling me to back off? Or was she deliberately testing how I'd react? I didn't like the photo. I couldn't. But I stared at it for hours, dissecting every detail like a lunatic. Who was he? A friend? A date? A boyfriend? I'll never know. And the uncertainty ate me alive. That night, I broke. I sent her a message. Just 3 words. Do you know? She didn't reply. She left me on read. And that silence was louder than anything she could have said. Now I'm stuck in this limbo, wondering if she's going to expose me, block me, or keep playing. I don't know if she's cruel, bored, or maybe just as confused as I am. All I know is that I've dug myself so deep into this hole that I can't climb out. So here's my question. If you were her, would you confront me directly, or would you keep playing the game? After sending her that message, do you know? My life became unbearable. The usual thrill of scrolling through her profile turned into pure anxiety. My chest tightened every time my phone buzzed. I couldn't eat, I couldn't focus on work or school, and sleep became impossible. Every little notification made me jump, every life from someone else made me spiral. Days went by without a reply. I stared at that scene receipt over and over. My mind raced with possibilities. Maybe she was laughing at me. Maybe she had already told her friends. Maybe she was blocking me slowly in some calculated way, keeping me in suspense. I couldn't tell which scenario was worse. Then one night, I got an Instagram DM from her. My heart skipped a beat. I opened it, careful, cautious, afraid it might be cruel. It wasn't cruel. It wasn't playful. It was just a single sentence. I've known for a long time. Everything inside me froze. My palms were sweating, my stomach twisted into knots, and for a moment, I felt exposed like never before. She knew. Every secret, like every late-night scroll, every irrational rule I had imposed on myself. She knew. I wanted to apologize, explain, beg for forgiveness, but my fingers refused to type. Instead, she sent another message. Why are you still looking? It was simple, direct, and devastating. I didn't know what to say, because the truth was, I didn't know why. It wasn't about wanting to be with her anymore. Not really. It was about obsession. It was about comfort. It was about feeling like I still mattered to someone I had once loved, even if it was only in the shadows of social media. I typed, erased, typed again, and finally sent something pathetic. I don't know. I can't stop. She didn't reply immediately. Hours went by. Minutes felt like centuries. My mind wandered to worst-case scenarios. Was she going to block me? Publicly humiliate me? Laugh at how pathetic I was? But when she finally responded, it was unexpected. You're ridiculous, but honest. That's something. Her response hit me in ways I didn't expect. Part of me wanted to feel shame, but another part, strangely, felt relief. Relief that she didn't hate me. Relief that I wasn't alone in the strangeness of human obsession. Relief that at least she acknowledged me. From that day on, the dynamic changed, but it didn't end. We didn't talk like normal people. We didn't go out for coffee or try to fix the past. But there was a silent understanding between us. A tension, a game. Sometimes she liked a photo of mine. Sometimes I liked one of hers. Sometimes we sent a single cryptic message that said everything or nothing. It became a strange, unspoken connection, neither healthy nor entirely toxic. A digital limbo where neither of us fully admitted what we were feeling. But it was real. And for me, that was enough most of the time. The worst and best part is that nobody else knows. Friends, family, mutual acquaintances, they all see me as the person who moved on. The person who acts normal. But behind the screen, late at night, I'm a ghost revisiting the past, tapping hearts on pictures from years ago, feeling every thrill, every shame, every fear in real time. And she's in the same room, or the same city, or maybe somewhere far away, probably knowing exactly what I'm doing. Sometimes I catch myself laughing at how ridiculous it all is. Other times I feel like I'm drowning. It's exhausting, but it's strangely comforting too. Like a secret universe only we occupy, where the rules are made up as we go, and nothing else matters except that small thread connecting us. And yet, I can't stop wondering, what if one day she decides the game is over? What if she blocks me, deletes her account? Or worse, what if she tells everyone? I've thought about sending her a real confession, about explaining my obsession fully, about apologizing for being so pathetic, about saying, I like you. I'm still not over you. But I can't, because I know that would destroy the delicate balance we have. The invisible, unspoken bond we've created would vanish in a heartbeat. So I stay silent. I scroll. I like the occasional old photo. I check if she's online. I wonder what she's thinking. And maybe, deep down, that's all part of the thrill. The secret tension, the knowledge that we both know exactly what's happening and neither of us says it aloud. Some nights, I think about quitting, deleting Instagram, walking away, forcing myself to move on. But then I see her story pop up, or one of her old posts gets a like from me, and the cycle begins again. I can't stop. And maybe that's who I am now. Not the person I was before, not someone free from obsession, but someone tethered to the past, clinging to a digital shadow of what once was. So here I am, finally admitting it to the world because nobody else can know the truth. I'm a grown person, acting like a teenager obsessed with someone I can't have. I'm embarrassed, ashamed, and yet strangely proud that I've been brave enough to feel this intensely, even if it's only through a screen. And the strangest part? She still doesn't block me. She still lets me peek. Still lets me feel like I matter in some twisted, invisible way. I don't know how this will end. Maybe it will never end. Maybe it's meant to stay this way. A secret game, a silent obsession, a confession I can never fully escape. So I ask you, would you confess your darkest obsession if you knew it might ruin everything? Or would you keep playing the game, silently, forever?